Hello everybody, and welcome to some more Honkai Impact. Today, we'll be continuing TeRiRi's quest, after I quickly go and grab some stuff. Just looking through the daily options, and I have finally saved up enough to get Rosalia. I'm going to put them as my thing for now, once it actually lets me. For some reason it doesn't let me do it immediately. It's kind of annoying actually.
前の周期と比べて艦長の調子はさらに良くなりましたね。今日の仕事は完璧でした。今後
And the reason I'm putting Rosalia up
私の出番かしら。艦長、今度の
is because you can have both of them. $50,000 coins, that's all you get, huh? And to TeRiRi quest. I'm gonna start off with this. I don't know why I just always like starting off with these guys. Let's see. There's so many places where it's got a good option. And there. I'm essentially playing freaking Bejeweled. And there. I already have enough of the daily thing. I'm pretty sure, at least. And now I get these. And we continue forward. Tree's starting to get busy. We'll go down the main road to the city center. Within 15 minutes, the road will be packed with people. That's perfect. Another crowd will all cover. TeRiRi, keep it up. By the way, off screen, I looked up what who Delta was, and it's actually a bit. Delta is the fusion of Rosalia and Lilia, but Rosalia kept the personality. Her personality did change though when she lost Lilia, so. Is it still Rosalia? You're running so fast. Short legs. Then again, I guess, like, 3 out of 5 of them have short legs. Stopped, physically exhausted, and grasping a nearby fence post as she gasped for air. Her remaining strength was entirely directed towards her heavy breathing, the noise from the street echoing in her ears. It's too much, can't keep. Struggled to lift her head, only to see the terrified face of the crowd before her. It's going to fall. 1,000 pieces. Crowd began to flee in a panic. So she's weak physically. Great, Miss TeRiRi. She was suddenly surrounded by a warm embrace. Rita, how did you protect you until we reach Lavinia Library? Hold on to me, we're getting out of here. Their violet scythe cut through the air in one beautiful arc after another, leaving their enemies behind them. We're safe now. Mr. TeRiRi, is your leg hurt? Can you still stand? I'm good, all thanks to you. You acted so quickly. wasn't trying to intentionally get in your way either. As they turned to TeRiRi, Kasumi surveyed the wreckage. What do you think, Kasumi? Judging by the parts of the screen, it's still quite new. Brackets that hold it also show no signs of rust or corrosion, so is somebody trying to assassinate. Something fishy about this. The four of us were with TeRiRi the whole time, watching closely, except when we got to the main road, and were separated from TeRiRi by the crowd. She was out of our sight for less than a minute, but in that time there was an accident out of nowhere. Almost as if it was directed at her. At me? It's just a hunch. To completely rule out that this was a man-made accident, I need to look more closely at where the screen and column connect. Don't waste your time. Lately my luck has been awful. I've gotten used to it by now. Maybe it's not her luck that's awful. Maybe it's the people trying to assassinate her making her have trouble. Similar when we first met. At the time I had a feeling it was something more than just bad luck. Clues in the debris was futile, but Cassie's remark about the column caught Brony and Delta's attention, as the three of them looked in unison. Rita gazed over at TeRiRi's increasingly pale face. She moved over to her side and gently took her by the shoulders, interrupting the conversation the three were having. This is going to be a concern, and we'll just have to stick more closely to TeRiRi. And our immediate goal is to get to the transport. We have less than 10 minutes. That won't work. Things have changed. Action was too close to 42nd Street. The transport's dispatch just rerouted it to 43rd. And we'll just have to run an extra mile. Ugh, more running? Somebody should carry her. Before she could even move, Delta began carrying the bewildered TeRiRi with the help of two of her drones. Delta, you can't run anymore, right? I'm pretty quick, so make sure to hold on. Hey, I'll leave the fighting to you guys. Wait, that street is another top 10 neighborhoods to avoid due to beast infestation. How many are there in this city? How many places do they just abandon because of stuff? Oh, pretty simple, I think. I just one-shot that guy. Okay. Have I over-leveled? Quite possibly, is all I can say. Yeah, I quite possibly might be higher level than I need to be. We made it. The transport is up ahead. I want to make sure to jump on the same car, on my mark. Wait, that smell. 3, 2, 1, jump. As soon as you finish counting, they jumped and immediately hid in the pitch black of the car. The frightened passengers frantically flapped their wings in desperate protest. It just had to be geese. Whoa, it's geese. One of the most vicious birds. It's crowded in here. Mystery, please let go of my ears. You have a pair of your own. So it was your bright idea, Ronnie. Each truck has a permit. The sound and smell of the geese will cover our tracks perfectly. There's got to be a better way, no? This is the plan for now, but if there's an issue with the permit, we can always switch to my plan, which is... I'm all ears. Let's have Mystery help you stop sneezing first. Before we get to the Boulder Gardens, we're gonna have to make peace with our fellow passengers. Okay. Oh, so TeRiRi has an even more powerful thing now. Oh, I got the 10 transmutation thing. Okay. I'll throw the Holy Spring water in. In the darkness, Rita began to soothe each of the geese. After a while, Rita was able to calm down all the geese. Only a few let out a hawk now and again, looking for more pets. She managed to calm down a goose? That's amazing. TeRiRi, your ointment really works. My nose doesn't itch anymore. What is this medicated cream made of? It's smooth and cool, and feels refreshing on the skin. It's made from spicy mint leaves and cool toad secretions. Toad secretions? Roni endured her disgust, and in the end, to cease the endless sneezing, she did not wipe the cream away. TeRiRi was strangely silent. Miss TeRiRi, do you feel unwell? No. Then are you worried about the journey ahead? A little. After all, we might only be halfway there. Rita wanted to inquire more, but she quickly realized that the girl before her might have only detected danger through sheer instinct, and had not understood the real threat she would face. You must be tired. You can lean on me and rest for a bit. Rita carefully placed the goose she had just put to sleep aside, and slowly put her arm around TeRiRi's shoulder. Thank you, Rita. An abrupt jerk caused TeRiRi to hit her head against the side of the car. Why did the car accelerate suddenly? Something wrong. This should be a smooth highway. Something wrong with the road surface? Or is it the car? As the jerking got more intense, the locks on the car began to loosen. Passengers that had just fallen asleep jolted awake, flapping their wings in dissatisfaction, and boisterously rushed towards the doors. Finally, because of the persistent geese, the doors flew open and the group on the car was pushed out by the flock of geese. Some struggling, the girls finally managed to stand on their feet. How thrilling. Are we really so unlucky? The previously smooth, tiled floor had strangely cracked open and became rocky. The battered car, along with its empty cargo department, had understandably driven away from this bumpy road. Stronger, I felt like something huge was approaching. Can we hide from it? We have to check the traffic conditions before a stargazing trip. So close to out of the town, so everyone pulled into this mess. The Boulder Guardian will chase all unauthorized living creatures away. At least this statement is true. We're partially successful. You'll find out later. Right now it looks like there's nothing we can do. We can't complete your request. We've got an idea that requires everyone's help. Get to the point. Simply put, I need everyone to attack and hold back the Boulder Guardian while chasing all the geese toward it. Well, the Boulder Guardian is busy bringing the geese back. We can sneak in. Of course, during this process, please be gentle with the geese. So wait, I can help too. I have a medicine that can make animals get rowdy. Sure will be a pain for the Boulder Guardian. On this topic, what were you intending to do with that medicine? Just in case, please keep that medicine away from me. Time is ticking. Let's leave the small talk for later, everyone. Time to move. Hero moved according to plan after Rita spoke. Cassidy remained silent along the entire way. At this moment, she was quietly adhering to the plan, focusing on the geese that were floating in the air, carefully predicting their next move. But Brony was still wary of her. She's trying to avoid attracting our attention? The priestess named Cassidy slowly crouched down and leaped up immediately after. She had prosthetic modifications, potholes when she lands on the ground. Roni, who was setting up drones, cautiously closed her eyes as she tried to catch the fleeting silhouette deep in her memories. This is actually kind of a bad start. Let's do this one. This one. Of course, I forgot the Boulder Guardian did that. That's always a pain in the ass. Oh yeah, this one moves now, so... This? Let's see what this does. Not quite enough to kill, but close enough. That'll die to burn, I think. Nope, never mind. You always need an extra hit more than you think. Who'd have thought that this would really work? The Boulder Guardian cannot multitask, so we'll definitely get rid of the bigger group of trespassers first. Since he's free, he'll realize that we're the real troublemakers. Well done. Thank you for the compliment, Miss Delta. I'm truly happy that we can put our prejudice aside and work together. Who said I was complimenting you? I don't remember working together. We'd even need your help. Cass and I would be... Huh? Looking for that priestess comrade of yours. Miss Brawny seemed to have something to tell her in private. We shouldn't interrupt them. She emphasized on the word priestess, winking at Delta with a mysterious smile. Oh, are we dropping our pretenses now? Fine by me. She tightened her grip on the greatsword and subtly lowered her center of gravity. You jest, Miss Delta. We're allies now. Naturally, we won't break our promise. Don't worry, Miss Brawny knows her limits. She simply has some secret that she doesn't want others to know. It won't affect our plans later. More importantly, we should take care of our client, right? You can take your time. She saw the look of terror on TeRiRi's face as she cowered in a corner and finally put her blade away. Don't let me catch you trying anything funny, or I won't hesitate to swing my sword at you. As you wish. Okay, what's going on? You're not going to ask what I want to talk about? I'll talk if there's a need to. Then, it is indeed time to talk. Sound of a gun loading replaced her voice, and the black barrel gave off a silent intimidation. Okay, what's going on? I thought we were partners. At least for now. The priestess at the other end of the gun showed no signs of anxiety. That made Brawny feel rather frustrated. She said it before, I can't work with somebody who hides their own identity. It's more dangerous to leave my back to a complete stranger than to face any enemy. The fox-eared priestess looked down and pondered seriously. Yeah, fox ears. So you mean that Miss Rita is the only person to leave your back to? The only one being your reliable partner? The experienced hacker staggered for a moment, as she couldn't tell if the priestess was being sarcastic, or if she was just bringing up a strange topic to distract her. Sorry. I was merely saying what I thought. Don't mean to offend. Yet, it was truly that the other party was simply sincere that made Brawny even more troubled, and she pressed her gun closer to the priestess. What are you really after? We accepted Miss TeRiRi's request. That's all. But you're hiding something. Like I said, I don't have a reason to get into conflict with you. What if I do? The gun barrel was practically pressed against the priestess' head. Yet rather than the threat of the weapon, the hacker's burning fury is more intrusive. I only came to complete my mission. Nothing else. But she slowly pulled out her weapon to block the hostile hacker. I must admit, there are times when this is a more efficient way of communicating. That's that part done. Just let me quickly go here. So, question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, oh, bro, I'm literally forced to use this brony. Which is weaker than the one I actually have. Finally showing your true colors, Ninja. So I don't want to fight, but I can't sit back and do nothing either. So... Oh, it's literally a whole nother one. Are you kidding me? I literally do nothing. Oh, come on. That is bullshit. Wait, these are the ones that I can actually move, I think. Heart. Okay, I need more hearts. Here. Okay. That's enough. You didn't dish out your full strength. Do you not see me as a worthy opponent? Or is it because you want to hide your true abilities and wait for an opportunity to ambush us? I don't wish for either of us to get hurt. At least for now, we are still partners. Ha! You still have the audacity to say that. You change your appearance and stand boldly before me, lying about how you want to complete the mission together. Are you taunting me? Or is this another scheme of yours? It's true that I want to complete this mission together. It's also true that I changed my appearance to avoid any unnecessary troubles. I hid it simply because I didn't want our past relationship to sabotage our current situation. Not for your pretenses. Where's the light curtain's core? My apologies, but I have reasons why I cannot disclose that. You cannot disclose the most important information. Fine, to be honest, I'm more concerned about another issue. What do you intend to use the light curtain's core for? Don't say you can't disclose that just yet. I've hacked into your ship's communication channel before and managed to get a small piece of information. That fellow is called Ferryman, right? You have a commendable encryption system, but it's nothing to me. Looking at what I analyzed from that message, you guys are planning something rather amazing. Back then in Arc City, I gave you the Light Curtain's core in exchange of a way to leave the bubble universe. But back then, you hid something from me, just like you're doing so now. By using a large amount of energy, you can connect the corresponding bubble universe with the other anchor as a platform. Can you explain more about this statement? I'm sorry, but I cannot say more. Since you can't say more, let me continue for you. According to my deductions, you guys are collecting these things called other anchors, and the Light Curtain's core we had in the bubble universe is one of them. I'm right. You came to this bubble universe with the same thing, right? Which means your plan will fail if we interrupt your operation, or even take that item before you. We stand to gain nothing from that. She stands to gain something. It's called spiting her. Your dissatisfaction is my best reward. Yeah, I called it. You didn't come here for this. What are you guys up to then? Sorry, but I can't say more. The atmosphere between the two remained tense and aggressive. After some time, the ninja was the first to put her weapon away. We should return. We still have to complete Miss TeRiRi's request. You're so inflexible. I once wondered if you were like Rosemary, the type to hide things from others. But now, it looks like you just don't know how to speak. See that many have said that I'm not good with words. It won't affect our mission, so you don't have to worry. I feel much better after saying all that. Rather than putting up pretenses, I prefer when we're both honest with each other. We still need to continue traveling together, for now. I intended to do so from the start. It's a pleasure working with you. Okay. Okay. How many of these cutscenes are there? So I've got 3 of them. And next chapter. Oh, I unlocked Rosemary there, Kasumi there. And the other one doesn't open yet. Okay. Okay. Apple washed clean. Let's cut it into 8 slices. Oh, I know whose memories this is. This is Delta. Why? What are you doing? Lilia, you're awake. Look, I've succeeded. There's apples and the bunnies. This for a long time. So I'm about to turn to an ugly color shortly after. I'm sure you won't want to eat them. Alright, I've really mastered it. No matter how many you want to eat, I'll slice them for you. Thank you. More importantly, you should eat them while they're still pretty. That way you can recover quickly and fight alongside me. All without you. With you. we... Sorry. Sorry. I have to apologize for this because as long as you dip the apple slices in the cold salt water, they won't oxidize to a brown color anymore. The girl felt like a voice she cherished had escaped from her dreams. To retain that momentary sensation, she struggled between sleep and reality. Apple. But her consciousness grew stronger, and she felt more and more awake. She still felt that something was wrong. Wait, this voice is... You'll get nightmares if you don't cover yourself properly with a blanket. Her beautiful illusions receded like a tide. Instead, Delta saw the person she wanted to see the least before her eyes. She subconsciously tried to recall when she had fallen asleep, and whether that dream caused her to talk in her sleep. Seeing how Rita began to smile more, she felt nervous. You're too close. That expression. Are you still sleepy and mistook me for someone else, Miss Delta? Thought we had already become partners after spending these few days together. Shut up. Get away from me. A rather cold response. When did this woman get so close to me? I was too careless. Miss Delta, you look exhausted. Why not rest a little more? Don't worry, I'll stay by your side. That's probably going to be the most worrying part. Although Rita seemed very sincere, Delta did not want such humiliating kindness. She blinked impatiently and refused quickly. That's unnecessary. I'll keep my guard up at all times. Delta rubbed her temples and stood up from the soft sofa. A light of dust peeked in through the windows. She slept for such a long time. This was an abandoned bar in Lone Star City, one of the few architectures that was decently preserved among the ruins. 6 hours ago, everyone decided to rest here. And so Brony checked the electrical circuits and restarted the lights and ventilation fans. The small bar looked acceptable after Rita cleaned it up. Do you want a drink to wake yourself up with? TeRiRi was sitting by the bar counter, drinking juice, and Brony was standing behind the counter, shaking a cocktail shaker. The pink-haired ninja was holding a cup and sitting on the window ledge. Why didn't she wake her up? Don't underestimate this bar. It may be shoddy, but the tools are intact. Hey, what do you want to drink? Then... I remember they were going on about apples in your sleep. Forget it. I don't want anything. Brony gave Delta a knowing smile, opened the cocktail shaker in her hands, and poured a honey-colored liquid into an antique glass cup. Miss Rosemary, if you please. Rita swirled her wine glass slightly. Although it was no longer clear due to its age, it still reflected a bright ray of light from the setting sun. Of course, as expected of a waitress from Raven's Diner. Though the A and the E should be freaking swapped around. That annoys me so much. Waitress? That's right. Although her surface attitude could be better, but Miss Brony is great at mixing drinks. You have to reminisce about that for me. Nobody will be interested in stories of the past. She did not forget the recipes, and mixing drinks had become muscle memory. But those times were too long ago, and they radiated with warmth in her memories. Is mixing drinks similar to making potions? Amazing. Similar, I guess. Here's your drink. Non-alcoholic, of course. Best drink I've ever had. So, Delta, don't want any? Just a cup of cherry juice is enough. Quickly, way to lure the tiger out of the mountain. This magical creature too. Damn, it sounds unrealistic. What a pity. Even though we finally found a comfortable place, Miss Delta still needs a nap. I'm not sleepy at all now. Delta placed the glass of cherry juice she had sipped down, and leaned on her greatsword to stand up. A soft hand covered the back of hers. Let me do it this time. We can't let this person disrupt our leisurely afternoon tea. Okay. HP. Oh, wow. Oh, no. It's one of these people. She literally focuses on just burning herself to kill the enemy. Oh, it's an ultimate. Let's go. I can't see any place where I can do multiple, so I'm just gonna drop here. Ah, now that's a problem. I'm not sure why my game just started freaking out there. Okay, so here. After leaving the bar, everyone moved according to their planned route. Stepping deeper into the forest of Lone Star City, for the first time, they did not feel that was a place that the Magic Security Bureau needed to be so wary about. Those where civic places are allowed to enter should be fortified. It looks more like an abandoned city here. Took a deep breath as if taking in the breath of the past from this land. While most places were already destroyed beyond salvation, traces of human presence had fully disappeared only a few years ago. But all this place was abandoned by everybody. Abandoned? Would common civilians abandon their residence so easily? It was originally as peaceful as Crescent Moon City, but its history went back much longer. It existed before the Magic Security Bureau was founded. And one of the buildings here are simpler. Sounds like it was an amazing ancient city. That's what I went to research about in the Lavinia Library. That library has the most complete collection of books. And they left the books behind? One day, the awakened Dark Lord harnessed and destroyed various lands with his claws and fangs. Even cities with magical girls' protections were not spared. It's magic girls, not magical girls. Never mind. After some consideration, the Magic Security Bureau decided that to use Lone Star City, the place close to the Dark Lord's courtyard, as a delayed tactic, or rather, the first line of defense against the Dark Lord's invasion. At the cost of sacrificing his residents? TeRiRi didn't know how to explain the cruelty of that cost. She could only phrase herself vaguely. Everyone suffered unimaginable pain as a result. Just recalling about it makes me so sad. So to seek refuge and to escape after the battle, the surviving residents suggested the idea of moving to Crescent Moon City to the Magic Security Bureau. Ah, such a cruel and incompetent method, don't tell me. Kasumi excluded herself from the conversation as usual, and her thoughts were placed elsewhere. Everyone's voices sounded soft and distant to her, a scrap of paper fluttering in the wind. Because this story about the past had awoken her memories about a certain friend. That friend forcibly gave her life, yet coldly left her alone. Back then, she also did something similar. But I can't protect nor you with the borrowed. It only ended in the dumbest way. I mean, by despair and the kindness of leaving no one behind, but weakness in disguise. Just a mortal who's slightly stronger than everyone. And I'm now taking my last breath to protect my place. Stop the wailing close at hand. How can I reach out to people in need far, far away? Thought they had abandoned their homeland. In reality, it was the magic security bureau that forced them to make that decision. In a way, it's more similar to that man who taught me how to live, yet never looked at me. Start to the end, all he cared about was a person's life and death. He never cared about how a whim of his could change others, or even the world. Casimir recalled all her experiences countless times, but only one thing was clear. If it was not for this man using her friend to extend help, she wouldn't be able to live in this world as she is now. At this thought, Casimir smiled bitterly. Excuse me. Although she claimed to have made a similar choice, but she sincerely felt sorry for it, and for me, to the extent that she felt tormented by it. This memory, that had been sealed deliberately, was like a physical injury for Casimir. It could heal with time, but it would never return to what it once was. Whenever she remembers the shock when she found out the truth, and the emptiness when she couldn't find a trace of her friend, her usual composure would crumble. She just twitched in annoyance as she tried to free herself from these frustrating thoughts until... Casimir, did you find anything new? A familiar voice rang next to her ear and pulled her out of the shadows of her past. Before she realized, this ally's voice surprisingly began to comfort her. Perhaps as a synchrony developed from frequent mission collaborations, or because they saw a similar loneliness in each other's eyes, or perhaps this was one-sided. Regardless, Casimir did not hate this feeling. No. I was just thinking, even though Lone Star City isn't an enemy base, we still have to keep our guard up. The Magical Security Bureau may have executed this plan because it didn't have the ability to resist the Dark Lord. If the Dark Lord is that strong, you can't underestimate the magic creatures left behind here either. You're right, that's a reasonable deduction. Fine, we just saw how it was tattered with injuries, but our ninja here can do so much from it. Looks like you're experienced in battle. Casimir did not respond to Brawny's taunts, and Delta did not reboot as she normally did. Because what Lone Star City encountered also reminded Delta of a memory she had kept hidden in her heart. Before she started feeling upset, she spoke to break the mysteriously sentimental atmosphere. Hey, let's make haste. And I got Rita. Yay. Oh, the path forward is unlocked further? Oh! Much further! Yeah, that's a lot further now. Oh, that's gonna be a lot. Or at least it should have been a lot. Here. And here. I've done so little damage this round. Also, my game starts freaking out now and again, it seems. Okay, yeah, I can only do this. Oh, that was actually a lot? And I guess let's boost TeRiRi. I like how TeRiRi is just stronger than Brawny in every way possible. Okay, so I'm now at the point where it's literally just play the Bejeweled. Oh, this is gonna be a lot. Okay, best option is... I want to get this one lined up. And move her full. Screw that bomb. Oh, I can't get rid of the bomb. Yeah, my game starts freaking out. Got rid of it, good. Well, I'm not gonna level up Rita quite yet. I have gems, though. Okay. Sorcery strength. Oh, did I get yeah, I got another one. So there's only 3 more left. Just got a bit more interesting, okay. Actual dialogue? Yes. The magical creatures in Lone Star City are really different from those in Crescent Moon District. How so? The small stone golems and boulder guardians in Crescent Moon District are aggressive merely because they are playful, but when they want to chase intruders away. The magical creatures we meet now are... We just seem to be looking for a more gentle word to describe these monsters' rude and graceless attacks. Actually, a small number of the magical creatures in Lone Star City used to be the Dark Lord's underlings years ago. Then it makes sense that they are more difficult to handle. I may not have experience in real battle, but I memorized the strategies in the Dangerous Magical Creatures Encyclopedia from cover to cover. Looks like we have to rely on our Requester sometimes too. Oh, there's some movement ahead. Here's our chance. Then let's try Miss TeRiRi's strategy. I feel like the game just deliberately puts the stuff in the hardest place possible. It's the most annoying place. Bomb. Okay. Bomb is on the way. And I need to... Yeah, this is kind of simple. And there's another one. Good, it wasn't as simple as I thought it would end up being. Okay, that hurt quite a bit. That was actually a horrible thing I did. Just kill him before the bomb goes off. TeRiRi, that round structure on the roof of that hollow projection, is that the Lavinia Library? There's a book symbol next to the structure, so it should be the library. Miss TeRiRi, what's wrong? I'm fine, I'm just trying to recognize it. I haven't been here in a long time, it feels very foreign. Let me take a closer look. TeRiRi widened her eyes and scanned the hollow projection of the building up and down. The symbol in front of the building doesn't look like that of the Lavinia Libraries. That is the building that looks like a villa behind the crossroad? No, the library might not be in this district. I remember the way to the library. I think it's in this direction and 2 roads away. Is that so? But calm down. Let me scout the route. Let's scout the route. I'll look for a building that looks more like the Lavinia Library. Huh? Kasumi leaped high and moved agilely into the distance. Her silhouette fell between the buildings far away and disappeared quickly. Kasumi thought about how TeRiRi looked just now. Even though they were close to her destination, she didn't look the least bit happy. Okay, something's going on then. A crisp snapping sound jolted Kasumi out of her thoughts. She saw Delta carrying her greatsword and running along with her. Leaving her arbitrarily will make Brawny more suspicious of you. Her fox ears turned back and forth. Kasumi stopped only after making sure that I was safe. I didn't expect to meet that hacker again. Oh, so you two have met before. At that time, because we met because we were fighting over it. Looks like she knows our motive. Delta rubbed her temples in exasperation, and she was at the brink of losing her patience. On this topic, this mission only required me. Why did you come along with an invitation, or come along without an invitation? After you left, I got 2 important information. Can't you say everything all at once? How troublesome. I defeated countless Dark Lords, so let this go over and done with. It'd be much better than playing along with that little girl. Oh, I guess it's not the first time we've had to play along with a little girl. I don't have doubts about your strength. But strength is not the only factor that affects victory and defeat. As that honorable person once said, a detour could be the nearest way home. Who said that? Don't use that person's words against me. Without that girl's clue, we wouldn't know where it is, and without her magic, it would be difficult to physically fight against the Dark Lord in this bubble universe ourselves. Then we won't be able to get it. Let's trust in that person's judgment. Okay. Delta turned her head away. But speaking of detours... Yeah, I came to check on this. Did you realize something wrong too? You're not the only one who looks at the information that person provides. Did you find anything? Lavinia Library is undoubtedly a building with a round roof. I'm more curious where the road TeRiRi pointed to leads to. The two looked in the direction, and the road ahead looked more and more desolate. So TeRiRi is lying to them. Soon, since she's the one who decides the destination and we're only doing this for money, why would she need to lie? TeRiRi's sad and hesitant expression appeared in Kasumi's head. Kasumi felt like she couldn't see through that seemingly outgoing girl. I suppose not all is in vain, if I get to see that expression of yours. It's about time we head back. Let's pretend to have some fights around here. The other two aren't easy to deceive. Okay. Let's see. Lone Star City 4. If this doesn't work, I'm going to equip this instead. Of course. Why does it always seem to go in the worst places? Okay, I want to get this lined up somehow, so... Yeah, that just freaking spiked him. And more gem transmutation. Okay. Adds 3 to the Haxor count. Magic. Okay. I think I've almost completed all of Brawny's things. Okay. Crumbling facilities and dilapidated buildings. They marked the hustle and bustle of the past, but now they showed lonely solitude. There's something at our 2 o'clock. Who would come to such a place? Regardless, it's best to be cautious. I'll give you 3 seconds to come out. If not, I'll fire. The drone signal light lit up, and red light shot out of its head toward a ruined wall. What are you doing, you insolent fools? Okay, what are you doing here now? An unfamiliar, white-haired girl covered her eyes from the blinding red light as she leaned against the wall. She walked over furiously. You have to apologize to me for your impudence. Huh? TeRiRi? Siren? Yep, of course. TeRiRi hurriedly squeezed in front of the 4 girls, protecting her, and rushed and pushed the girl named Siren. Siren, it's too dangerous here. You must return to Crescent Moon District now. Dangerous? Oh, I thought that you lot didn't know that. Of course we do. That's why we chose to travel together. Travel together? To seek some thrills? Delta, who had been observing from the side, decided that it was the right opportunity to ascertain her conjecture. The lady here. We haven't reached the Lavinia Library. If we were to turn back now, then what would you do for TeRiRi's graduation thesis? Graduation thesis? What are you talking about? TeRiRi has already graduated. Yep, there's something going on. I speak the truth. Look, it's written clearly on the commission listing. Siren, you can go back first. I'm really not. TeRiRi's voice got softer and softer, until it was merely a murmur. She could not even convince herself with her words of rebuttal. TeRiRi, you didn't forget what happened here, did you? Back then, they simply stepped in the courtyard and had to pay a hefty price. Are you going to follow in their footsteps? I didn't forget it. I won't step on the same path. If that clever mind of yours is still awake, you should live your best life instead of always running into danger, so as not to let their efforts down. I came back precisely because I'm awake. Been so many years, but you're still foolish beyond salvation. But Siren, you're the same, aren't you? Her hair is literally knotted on those things. Like those spear things have her hair knotted around it. Why else would you be here? You're so sure that the Dark Lord no longer exists, but you both broke through the Boulder Guardian's defense and came here alone. I just wanted to ascertain something for myself. Then why do you stop me all the time? You're the one who understands me best. We shouldn't be the only ones who get to enjoy that kind of peaceful life. You haven't given up on that ridiculous idea? Siren, we already lost a senpai. But we might be able to save the other one. You said that we should look forward, that everything's in the past now, but... Everything I look forward... Think if things pass just like this, then does our future really end here? Have you ever thought of what would happen to you if you failed? If I contemplate about the result, I'm afraid I won't be able to persevere. I only know that it's the only thing I want to do now. You idiot. Siren bit her lower lip in anger. TeRiRi's stubborn expression reminded her of another heavy memory. She knew well that even if she could stop TeRiRi this time, she would make the same decision again in the future. As things are now, there's no need for us to waste each other's time. I'll only tell you this, the Dark Lord has truly disappeared. Confirm this, and I'm not trying to patronize you. Huh, is that true? Don't get ahead of yourself yet. We might not be able to infiltrate the site of Nightmare and enter the Dark Lord's courtyard just because the Dark Lord isn't around anymore. Why, I can use that secret passage, right? Yeah. The last time I passed by it, coincidentally heard dogs barking. What a racket. So annoying. Dogs barking. Near the site of Nightmare. Could it be the 300 dog Cerberus? Siren, thanks for the hint. I didn't say anything. Why do you think that I'm helping you? What if I'm just taking you on a wild goose chase? You wouldn't do that. Who knows? Noticing that she had stayed for too long, and unwilling to mix with these people anymore, Siren decided to end this unpleasant conversation. TeRiRi, you said once, and I'll say it again. Don't sacrifice your life for this. With that statement, she turned and left. Siren, wait! The white-haired girl quickly disappeared into the ruins and withered trees, and TeRiRi was still thinking about the conversation earlier. Her instincts made her chase after the Siren and neglect the dangers in the forest. Watch out! Kasumi blocked the magical creature that leapt towards TeRiRi and swung a blinding electric arc at it. When it comes to ambushes, even underlings of the Dark Lord are no match for me. Okay. Skill info. Oh! Okay. So I need to use these a lot. Oh! That's an interesting... Not the damage over time I would like to have. Okay, so I need to get the ninja mark up. Oh, bombs! Goody! Just what I needed. And I'm completely out of ninja marks. Yeah, my game keeps on trying to forcefully make me do stuff. Not sure why it keeps on trying to do that. Are you going to remain silent? Hey, don't scare her. As our employer, she needs to tell us the truth. And your little drones also require accurate information to be useful. I'll have you know, as someone who can only fight will never match up with my trackers. Everyone, please calm down. Miss TeRiRi, please listen to me. We don't have the right to interfere with your personal issue with Miss Siren, but the truth of the commission affects the execution of this mission. Please don't overthink. After all, from the moment we accepted this commission, we must follow you until the mission is complete. Of course, if you aren't satisfied with how we do things, we can leave as well, but if you aren't willing to tell us the truth, we can't help you even if we wanted to. Actually, I'm not doing this for a graduation thesis, and I don't actually want to go to Lavinia Library. Elvish commission solely to save someone. She's in an eternal slumber in the Dark Lord's castle now. To awaken her, I asked many people and studied many books, found about a treasure that can awaken her in an ancient book. It's called Miracle Stone. The treasure you're looking for and the person you wish to save are both in the Dark Lord's castle. I'm really sorry for hiding this from everyone. It's good enough that you guys have escorted me out of Crescent Moon District. I complete the rest of the journey myself. As for the 4 shares of the ward, they should be transferred to your bank accounts tomorrow. Looks like Siren was right. TeRiRi is a big fool indeed. Huh? You said it yourself. Me is the only luck I've had lately. In that case, why are you throwing away the luck that was so hard to come by? That's right. After all, we don't understand anything about your graduation thesis. Nor do we care about that miracle stone. In comparison, I'm more concerned about that 3-headed dog. Shall we see whether your drones or my greatsword can defeat it first? Just what I wanted. So the two of them could start arguing again. TeRiRi stretched out both arms, one toward the left and another toward the right, to stop Delta and Brony. The two girls paused, and a rarely seen unison held TeRiRi's warm hands. Thank you, everyone. You're welcome. Everyone is only here because of my commission, but... Miss TeRiRi, your new commission is a piece of cake for us all. After all, Everyone in this world is working for their own motives. I'm not going to play as Kasumi, I think. Okay, I need to level up 4 members to that level, though. Wait, can I do any more Tower of Horror? I need to clear the 8th. Okay. Okay. TeRiRi. I kind of just destroyed that guy. Yeah, he's not going to make it far, is he? Oh, I got a new thing in this next area. Okay. Didn't get any... Okay, I have 1 here. Of course. I hate those broken rocks. Maddox Ghost. Let's do this way. That actually worked out pretty good. 5% of max HP every turn. I need to get rid of that. Like ASAP, I need to get rid of it. Because that would destroy me. Delay enemies attacked by 2 turns. Okay. There, I got this mission. Oh wait, I don't have any more gems. Can I buy anything more? No, not right now. Lone Star City 8 unlocks the next Tower of Horror. Oh yay, this is actually a pretty good start. That's actually a really good start. I can just brute force my way through that. Okay, do I get more dialogue? Not yet. Huh. Okay. Clear side of Nightmare 1 to raise the reward cap. Tower of Horror. Oh, it wants Rita. That's unfortunate. I don't like playing as Rita in this. I just honestly prefer the other... Okay. The other people, is what I was going to say. Okay, now I'm gonna go back up here. Also, I like how I'm just assuming Rita's a magical attacker. And here. Oh, I thought that was actually gonna kill, but I needed one more attack. Yep, next stage. Kasumi. Start. I'm saving that for when I need it. That was a decent enough need it. See what this does. Okay, nowhere near the amount of damage I wanted it to do. But it did indeed do some damage. I'm assuming she's a physical attacker, so... But this is a 4-line. Okay, so I'm gonna line up these ones. I think I kind of just have to let those bombs go off. Because there's not much I think I can do about them. Take a drink. Game, stop trying to force me to do things. Another underleveled victory. What is this for? Oh, it needs Rita. What recommends Rita is what it is. Actually, I'm gonna... Gem Transmutation. Okay. I've actually got almost all the hair hunts. And path forward. TeRiRi is not at the level I need her to be, so let's continue. I'm not going to be Kasumi, I'm going to be freaking Brony. Oh, it actually is recommending this, so I will listen to it. I was expecting some dialogue here, but apparently not. I need to get this charged up now. Here. And then here. That actually is nowhere near the amount I want it to be. I just have to hope this actually just kills. Still no dialogue. This definitely will give me some dialogue though, right? Okay. Can't we just get rid of it here and now? We probably can't. It says in the Dangerous Magical Creatures Encyclopedia that the magical key Cerberus guards is only visible when it's alive. This is the first time I've heard of a dog having a symbiotic relationship with the door it guards. In this case, regardless of what the plan may be, we cannot get into direct conflict with it. The last time I saw it, it already had a bad temper. We can just beat it up if it has a bad temper. If you can guarantee that nobody here would be provoked while doing that and accidentally kill it, it's a good idea. Just to be safe, we should foster a good relationship with it. Casimir, who was walking at the back of the group, remained silent. Cerberus, the beasts in this bubble universe are so unique. We're wrong. Each of Cerberus' head defends from one direction. We managed to steal the key around his neck to sneak. It'd be difficult. Only could lure it away completely. And just search for relevant canines. What sets you in a good mood? Fried tofu. It's the best frozen up dessert. Fried tofu. You know what's the best way to enjoy a beautiful sunny day is? Fried tofu. Suddenly, Cassie remembered its original appearance. Before it was named, it had to foster a relationship with her. Today, that relationship is transformed to an inseparable bond that presents its true form when she needs it most. Raigo-Kumara? No. Perhaps you prefer the name Higo-Kumara. After all, you came up with that name yourself. Treat you like a beast, but join the discussion. This Cerberus, it probably has something it likes to eat, right? Probably, but I don't know what it is specifically. One of the dangerous hobbies are stealing the Dark Lord's slippers and rummaging through the trash bin at the back of the courtyard. Dark Lord died, the beloved still upholds responsibilities of their contract and wanders between the Side Nightmare and Lone Star City now. After a while, nobody knows what it likes to eat. I see. Thus far, it seems to have the same abilities, or same habits as its own kind. Gains trust if we feed it with food it likes. Indeed, then we'll be able to get the key it's guarding. Pretty good idea, but this big fellow... It's see the dog first standing in the air, and it's slobbering nasty saliva. Just as TeRiRi had said, the Dark Lord's beloved dog no longer lived a life of luxury as it did in the past. It's like Cerberus, he's more than a good meal. It's a full course of cleaning and grooming too. Hard to imagine how we have to get along peacefully with a dog like this. I agree. I don't even want to touch it. As if it understood their discussion, Cerberus scratched its neck with its back paw in annoyance. Then it shook its heads aggressively. Its three big heads were like drills that activated simultaneously, shedding dog fur all over. After it saw Brawny cover its nose, it deliberately got into a defensive stance, three heads each looking into a different direction to form a seamless defense. Awoo! Are you intimidated, foolish humans? Let me try. Casimir stood in front of everyone and opened her bag of food. Looking at the various packaging, she felt indecisive. How about this one? Miss Casimir, if a dog eats chocolate, I'm afraid it'll... Sorry then. Clueless about dog's diet. It's too late to ask that honorable person anymore. Though not all dogs are like Raigo-Kumara, but... Cerberus, look at this! Toss a few pieces of fried tofu with the big three-headed dog. His attention kept its guard up. The three heads took turns sniffing the fried tofu. Woof. What is this? This head looks curious. Woof, woof, woof. I don't know, but it smells good. It looks very satisfied. As expected, they've calmed down. I'll get the key now. No, Casimir, wait. Woof, woof, woof. That human easily took out something so delicious. And we can only starve. Damn it. Starve, starve. Damn it. How did this happen? Those three heads look angry. TeRiRi, give me your hand. The rest of you, scatter. Right as she spoke, the huge dog growled furiously and pounced at all of them. But thanks to Brony's reminder, all of them dodged in different directions. But this reminder coincidentally allowed her to realize something. Where are they? King Fox, how are you looking down on me? Run, run. The three heads look in different directions, proving that they can actually think independently. Considering that, and with each of our abilities, with whether often confuse them, then we'll find an opportunity. Everyone, let's go. 3 pairs of long ears in the task squad. I think there's only 2. I hope I'm right. Because I count... Wait! No, Brody's hood. If the freaking hood counts, then yes. The hood doesn't count, apparently. That's actually bad. I now have a bomb I have to deal with. Absorb. Okay. I need that gone now. Okay, yeah, my game keeps on freaking doing decisions for me. And that annoys me. Like, I'm gonna lose this match because my freaking game decided to choose what I was going to do instead of letting me choose what I was going to do. Like, I'm dead. I don't think I physically can complete this. Retry. Oop, I accidentally clicked off. Oh, that's why I wanted me to have the hammer. I should have realized that. Okay, this time I remember. There is not. All I can say is if this gets wrong, it means that it wasn't a correct answer. Okay, and then I need to go with these. Okay, evil key. It's up. That was a bad move, actually. Oh no, maybe it was a good move. I just have to get one good guy down here. Damn it! I'm gonna lose this again. Yeah, I need to get that hammer thing for the next round. Oh, there's a second one. Yeah, I'm dead. I can get rid of the key. I have a chance. Okay, here. Key, there's gonna be another key put on. Okay, key right there. So I need to drop it. So yeah, you need to drop that key immediately. I managed to freaking win though. Second try. Without actually doing the hammer. You guys are so embarrassing. Delicious. I almost caught them. Delicious, delicious. Where's the key? The key is gone. Chase after them. Wait, let me take one more bite. Miss TeRiRi, what are you writing? I'm recording our discovery just now. I never knew that Cerberus had this side to it. Yeah, but we only managed to find out because of the ninja's daring attempt. Thanks. Don't show an expression of disbelief. You helped everyone and I'm not someone who sees others dichotomously. Sorry, I misunderstood you. In that case, when it comes to distracting them, Miss Brona contributed a lot too. I should also say thank you. What are the two of you playing at? As long as we acknowledge it in our heart, there's no need to say it out loud, right? Oh, Sword, dear Delta is shy. Think of it as you will. Anyway, we managed to deal with Cerberus, and we're one step closer to the Commission's destination. Let's continue forward. Or so I would if the magical creatures in the tunnel were capable of seeing clearly in the dark, as they have adapted to their habitat. Yet they could also sense how dangerous these intruders were, simply from their comrades' howls. Most of them desperately escaped from the secret passage, and the remaining fearless ones fell to a great sword and gunfire. And after a while, we're finally here. There were so many monsters in the secret passage, but there's nothing here in the sight of Nightmare. Maybe the Dark Lord is taking a nap. I don't hear any snoring. It's better this way. With the Dark Lord, we can finish our mission quickly. You seem more and more confused, Casimir. That's not important. You know that I always complete my missions. What are you two mumbling about? Hurry up. Everyone stood outside the deathly walls and evaluated the Dark Lord's castle. But TeRiRi slowly walked up to the metal gates that were covered in withered vines. TeRiRi, don't stray too far from us. She didn't listen and continued to stare at the metal gates. Casimir and Delta looked at each other. Open the gates, TeRiRi. Please be careful. We're still not sure about what's inside the castle. Alright. Thick chains were coiled around the rusty metal gates. Under the moonlight, those chains reflected a bright light, as if they had just been wrapped around these gates yesterday. From what Siren said, I thought there'd be no signs of life here. Newly changed chains just slashed apart. No, this is a highly advanced warding spell. These chains have been here for many years. TeRiRi took out a few vibrant colored bottles from her bag, dabbed a small amount of powder with her fingers before smearing it onto the chains. In no time, bumpy marks appeared on the smooth surface of the chains, and reddish-brown rust quickly appeared on them. These chains seem to have aged a lot. Although I can break these chains with my magic, the Magic Security Bureau will realize that too. So I can only use this potion that accelerates decomposition to weaken the effect of the warding spell. So we can chop them off now? They may be tougher than ordinary metal chains, but we can definitely cut them apart. Alright, all of you, back away. 1, 2... This should be... The chains fell to the floor. Oof. These chains are pretty tough. They hold up against 2 of my hits. Dota really says the most amazing things with the most nonchalant expression. You're pretty good yourself, TeRiRi. I'm still far behind all of you. Sorry to interrupt, the hinges are heavily rusted, and I can't push the gates open alone. Let's do it together. The metal gates made a long screech as everyone pushed it open. But this did not alert any magical creatures in the castle. It's too quiet here. Doesn't seem like there's any magical creature around. Yeah, after all, the Dark Lord doesn't exist anymore. Who knew? We should remain wary just in case. While 3 of them were busy exploring, the other 2 deliberately distanced themselves slightly. Oof, we're finally here. Delta stretched as she spoke. Are you that exhausted? My patience is what exhausted me. Don't ask rhetorical questions. Indeed, before other retrieval missions, the straightforward would always look as competent as she did now. This was something Casimir was sure about. She's right, our mission was finally ending. Okay, that's Lone Star City done. More gem transmutation. That's the last Hare Hunt magic. And Hare Hunt healing. I think Hare Hunt is completely done now. And now we have the key and mechanism. And that'll be the end of it for today. Oh no, it's a puzzle. Okay, I can activate this one from here. Now I need to activate this one though. Oh, that deactivated these 2. This is one where I don't want it to combo. Yep, got the stuff. And key. Let's get rid of this and put on the freaking mallet. Or actually, I don't need extra damage, I need these ones to not die. So I need these 2 keys to hit the bottom. You know, that's not what I was trying to do. But that worked. Barely. And now we transmute some more gems. Sorcery healing. Cosme healing. Cosme healing. And the last one is Rosemary Ultimate. Okay. Tower of Horror. This one needs TeRiRi, or no, Rita. It wants Rita level 18, so I'll go Rita level 18. Okay, I want to get rid of that, because that weakens my stuff. And Rita's one of those ones you want to be injured. Of course, you're putting another one down. Okay, so if I want to get these ones... Oh, I'm actually starting to get pretty injured. So I could probably, after I get rid of this weakness, I will... Yeah. That was the first level. I didn't realize that there was a second. Oh, bombs. Lovely. There's 2 of them. Yeah, that gets a lot of charge. Okay, and then... Oh, that's a lot of fire. So I break this one down, give you this, and smash. Good. And the next stage is Cassidy, who she wants it to be level 19. I don't think I can do that right now, so let's go back and do Path Forward. Okay, I didn't get any of the actual nice magical things I wanted. Oop, that's not what I needed. That worked though, I started getting a nice combo there. I am wondering why I'm getting one every turn. Like, just one random gem every turn. Yeah. This is going to hurt it a bit. Did I get enough for the 200? Yep. And continue raising Kasumi. gem transmutation to try to get a little bit more strength. Hair Hunt Ultimate. Rosemary Strength. 4 times strength damage. So she does a lot of damage, but she's also very frail. Because she uses her health to do that damage. Let's try it. Oh, is that the weakness one? Or is that a different one? Oh, that's the healing one. The worst one. Here. This is a pain just because I have to constantly be dealing with it. Yeah, that little blip that just happened up there, that's my game trying to force me to play something. Of course you're putting more of them down. Thankfully I'm getting better at dealing with them. Actually, oh. I was about to do something with this. Ineffective. Also, something just occurred to me. There's a second wave. This is just the first wave. How do I deal with this? I don't think I can deal with it immediately. Oh, right there. He barely healed himself up. I hate the rune thing. Freeze the gems around it. Yada yada. Okay, I can clear this one, but I can't clear the one at the bottom out if I do that. Aha. Oh! Time limit reached. So yeah, I guess I'm not at the... I need to level her up further. And another day till the next chapter, and the last chapter, I think, is what it is. But yeah. Let's see what this thing wants to do. Oh, this. And this. But yeah, that seems like a good place to stop it for today. So, thanks for coming to the stream. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you again next time, where we'll finally finish TeRiRi's quest and get back to chapter 37. Yeah, hope to see you there. Goodbye.